I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
Maybe we should call your sister.
No, I'll be good. I want to dance. I practiced. I just want to dance. I practiced.
Let's talk about how one of the most difficult things you'll ever do is leaving the man you love for the man you know you deserve. Story time. When I was in my 20s, I dated a guy who made me want to create wedding hashtags out of our names. Before I fell asleep at night, I thought about all the ways we were perfect for each other, how we were both only children, how we were both weird, but like in the same way, and most importantly, how he made me feel. Because this was the guy who one night, as I was apologizing for crying over God knows what, turned to me and said, "Anna, you don't have to be sorry because life isn't about being perfect, it's about being real, and don't you think that would have made a great line at our wedding that never happened?" And the thing is, all of the above was true and real, but the following things were also true and real. That he was the kind of guy who brought me to a sports bar and decided to ignore me all night and talk to some random 50-year-old dude instead. That he was the kind of guy who got so drunk one night that he couldn't really understand I meant it when I said no means no. And most importantly, that he was the kind of guy who was always halfway in and halfway out. And if I'd been more honest with myself, I would have realized that last point a heck of a lot sooner. Because here's the thing, ladies, loving a man does not mean he's your man forever, and most of the guys you'll date and fall in love with will break your heart, and that's okay. What's not okay is staying in a relationship where you feel seen 50% of the time, and the other 50% you're wondering why your boyfriend would rather talk to some random 50-year-old dude in a bar instead of you. So if I could go back and tell my 20-something self one thing, it would be this. Learn to leave even if it means you'll be alone for a little while. Learn to leave even if it means you're gonna hate the next 10 dates you go on. And learn to leave not because you don't love him, but because you know someone else can love you so much better.
Learn to choose the man you're getting involved with more wisely. But that part, as you know, is never mentioned because it's always the man's problem, not my choice. Here, I wonder, why not apply the saying that empowered women use to take credit away from men? Behind every man is a great woman, or a good woman can change a man's life. Why didn't she fight to change this man because he brought little to the table? He was a Chad, and like every Chad, he only shines in the initial moments. After the woman leaves him, the sparkle in his eyes fades, and she begins to see the harsh reality of the life she'll have with this man. Then she completely changes her mindset, going for the beta provider, a man who can ensure her a financially stable long-term life, with her merely bringing her presence into this man's life. That's why they leave the Chad, even though he causes them an emotional roller coaster, being the man they love and the one they truly want to bear their seed. Some wake up earlier, preferring to leave before becoming a single mother, and they trade him for a beta provider, even though they still love the Chad. That's why she left this man, didn't stay to try to change him to become the man she wanted, because he didn't have that potential at least. He was just for fun.
I've seen a lot of different videos on TikTok lately about this, so I wanted to do my own video about it. And that is what it's like dating women in their 40s. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a lot different now than I was in my 20s and my 30s. And everyone comes with baggage, every single person. So if you think one person has more over another, you might be right, but I don't think it has anything to do with the age necessarily. It has to do with how they've coped and dealt with that stuff and how they've grown. So women in their 40s tend to be more mature, a lot wiser. They don't give a shit as much as they used to, and that can be liberating in itself. They like to have fun. They just want to go with the flow. They're not really worried about what's going to happen next. So if you are not sure if you want to go down that road, that's up to you, but give it a consideration because we're a lot of fun.
So they're fun like an amusement park, somewhere to ride but not to move in. The problem is that they all come with baggage, and in that, I agree, men do too. But the thing is, it's easier to deal with baggage at 20, with beauty and fertility. What baggage at 40 with nothing but traumas? So, which do you prefer, brother? Many realize that dating at an older age is an uphill battle. The mountain gets steeper each time. The thing is, a woman who doesn't change her cards in time realizes that the game of age between men and women is different. Because men look down, and women look up. What do I mean by this? A 40-year-old man has so many options for marriage. He can find a woman his age just to live a quiet life, or even older if he still looks good. Alternatively, he can date a younger woman, say 25 and up, or even younger depending on what this man can offer, be it physical or economic, and start a family. But a woman either looks for someone her age or older because younger men tend to just have fun, unless it's a younger man not looking for a family. But it's tough for the woman because she has hit the wall, and we all know the wall doesn't forgive.
If you are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked, because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them, who have that estrogen, progesterone, whatever the hormonal balance is that makes someone young, it's there and you're losing it. And you become hyper aware of that. And that is why women begin to panic.
Brothers, the wall does not forgive. What this woman said is the truth, and they know it. You know it. Even God knows it. The women who kept searching for that top 10% man, those who were dating Chads, the ones solely focused on their careers, the ones rejecting good men, they all collide with the harsh reality after 30. Time is running out, and the wall does not forgive. The men their age or older are seeking younger women. The best candidates are dating women much younger, often offering only fertility, which is what 80% of men want to leave descendants. Many don't listen, brothers. We keep saying what we're looking for in a woman, but they prefer to follow advice from feminist dating coaches or women who don't have a man, not clearly understanding men's requests. We want a woman connected to her feminine energy, beautiful, young, and fertile, someone who performs acts of service, takes care of her man and the home. If you're in your 20s and heading down a different path, let me tell you that what might await you is the wall, because the wall does not forgive. If you doubt it, watch the next video.
All right, all of my fellow 40-something-year-olds who hate dating as much as I do. I have not been on a dating app in several months, and so I decided Friday night that I would get on one. And I matched with this guy, and we start chatting away, continued into Saturday and Sunday, and we'd made plans for Wednesday night. And then the more we talked, we were kind of like, we were kind of hitting it off. We're like, let's do Tuesday night too. Then comes Monday, and he's like, hey, do you think you can slip away and meet me for coffee? And so I do. The date was about 5 hours long, and it was great, went well. Very attractive man, great job, just all around seems like a great catch, right? So that night, it was great. Sent me a text afterwards, had a good time, all the things. Then Wednesday night, we go to dinner, and he picks out the place. I meet him at his house. We ride together to the restaurant. And as we're sitting there, kind of, halfway through dinner, he decides to tell me, he's like, you check a lot of my boxes. I'm really into you. I've told all my sisters about you. I say all mine, his two sisters. They've seen pictures of you and this and that. And I'm like, whoa. Slow your roll, bro. And so dinner still is fine. Great. We move on. I go back home. He sends me a bunch more text, kind of just, again, I'm really into you. I really go after what I want. But it's at this point, it's just becoming too much. And I tend to pump the brakes and actually back up on the first night of our date.
Brothers, in this life, there are two non-negotiable things: time and genuine interest. If a woman is not genuinely interested in you, it's possible that it won't lead to anything with her. Now, you also don't want to start forming your life on the first date, because that scares anyone. This man is a simp. He's dating a 40-year-old woman and already thinking about marrying her, talking to his family about her, and planning everything. What's wrong with you? Are you a woman with a wish list for Santa Claus? At this point, I must say that this woman is right, because this man is bombarding with rush love. Brothers, in the realm of relationships, you can't think that the first woman you date wants to give her everything at once. It makes you seem less appreciated, appearing as needy. Besides, you don't even know her. If a woman does the same with you, you'd probably say, this woman is crazy. It's like women who go on dates and start asking a list of questions. It seems like a job interview to be their husband. Keep this in mind, but let's see how it ends.
I just said, I really just don't get excited. I've been in this dating game longer than you. He's been divorced 2 years. I've been divorced for 14. So yeah, I've been in this fucking single dating game for a hell of a lot longer. And he proceeded to also tell me he's gone on like 40 dates in 2 years. And I'm like, holy fuck, that is more dates than I've gone on in my life. Let alone in 2 years. Jesus. So anyway, I tell him I'm not excited. I don't get excited just because I've had so many letdowns. So I contain any and all excitement. And he was kind of irritated by that. So after the second date, then he sends me a message the day after. And he's like, hey, I was reflecting on last night. I think I probably said too much, kind of opened up too much. I'm like, yeah, you think? And I just messaged him back like, hey, I get you being vulnerable, telling me how you feel. I'm just not in that place right now. It just seemed like an emotional dump and I'm still digesting it and I just handle things differently. And it kind of rubbed him the wrong way. And we were supposed to go out tomorrow night. He texted me today, canceled plans. And I just said, oh, are you going to LA? Because he was going to LA to meet some chick. And he's like, irritated that I thought he was going on that trip. And I just was like, I'm just asking. I don't fucking care. And so he canceled all plans for the weekend. And he's just like, I'll contact you next week. I'm just going to kind of let this simmer. So, yeah, no, I don't think so. I think we're good. I don't think there's a match anymore. I don't know. What would you guys do? I'm like, I wasn't really, after all that emotional, crazy dump, like, I get it. I love, that he's so into me, but I'm just not at the same level as he is. And he really just didn't seem to like my boundaries. And I have these fucking boundaries for a reason. I've been through a ton of therapy and I've been single a lot longer. I'm going to have boundaries. I'm not settling. Like, what the fuck? But seriously, dating in your fucking 40s is terrible. Why does it have to be so bad?
This guy is needy. Why would you be in such a hurry? To me, this man hasn't healed from his past relationship. 40 dates. I don't believe it. Why would you say that to a woman as well? Besides, if you act like this in 40 dates, brother, change your strategy. What I think he wanted was to take her to bed. He presents himself as a prospective husband, but the strategy doesn't work. I'm sure she thought he was so desperate for a man. Brothers, we have to realize that women, regardless of age, are more accustomed to going out with more men and talking to more men. An average woman on a dating app has many matches, so that means she talks to many men. That's why they dominate the dating game. But as a man, you shouldn't show yourself as needy, revealing that you're super in love with someone you've only known for 4 days. If he had taken it slower, just going to the date to enjoy the moment, he would have fared better because she seemed interested by continuing to accept the dates. But in this game, the one who shows too much hunger never eats. Now, things are only getting worse for you. Even though she says she's been single for 14 years, brothers, that's quite a long time.
So if you meet someone in their late 40s, never been married and no kids, run. I cannot imagine dating someone in their late 40s that's never been married and no kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? No one wanted to wife them up, or no one wanted to marry that guy? Or was he a little playboy? He didn't want to ever commit to anyone. He likely has never had to sacrifice or put anyone's needs in front of his. Who knows? Maybe it was the whole, his career came first. He had to move so many times. There's always so many fun excuses. But never would I ever, if I was a guy, I would think this as well. Want to be in a relationship with someone that's in their late 40s or, heaven forbid, older, that's never been married and no kids. I'll leave those to everyone else.
A man in his 40s can still easily start a family with a woman who is 10 to 15 years younger than him because men typically seek partners who are their age or younger. For women, it's more challenging. By the time they reach their 40s, the ability to have children might no longer be an option, which puts them at a disadvantage if they meet a man around their age or slightly older who wants to start a family. On top of that, there are the risks that come with this stage of life and the lifestyle changes a woman might consider, like moving in together, becoming a homemaker, or taking care of someone after spending her entire adult life alone. Such changes can be overwhelming for many women, which is why they struggle when it comes to forming a relationship.
So a guy that I have been dating just broke up with me, and he's sad about it. And talking about things is healing for me. If you haven't watched my other videos, he was a guy that I knew from high school, and I didn't meet on a dating app or anything. He reached out to me and asked me on a date, and it was just supposed to be to catch up and have a good time, no expectations. And that's exactly what happened. We had a great time. He ended up asking me on a second date, and we were having conversations about what our non-negotiables were. And one of his non-negotiables was that he didn't want to have to compete with other men for my time. So I deleted Tinder and deleted my Snapchat. And he treated me so well. It was so thoughtful, and
Be thankful that he was honest and told you he is not your person. He released you so that you can find your person. I had the same thing happen to me a few months ago, 2 weeks prior to ending things. He said he loved me, and then 2 weeks later, said his heart wasn't in it anymore. I am like you. I don't have any chill when I like someone. I'm not obsessive and clingy. I just don't know how to keep someone at an arm's length and, like you said, guard my heart. I'm sorry this happened. Next time, if you know you have a pattern of being all in too fast, you really need to keep seeing others until you see real commitment from his end.
said things to me that made me think that he wanted the same things. I always get advice about how I need to go slowly and be nonchalant, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to guard my heart and not be all in when I like somebody and I see a future with them. I am moving to Texas in January, and he knew that from the very beginning and had said that he was absolutely willing to relocate. So today he told me that he couldn't move away from his children, and all of his kids are grown. They're in their 20s and 30s.
This is the issue with dating after 40, the sacrifices. This woman needs to move to Texas, and this man would have to leave his entire life behind to go with her, including being away from his grown children. Even though they're adults, being far from your family to be with someone you're still getting to know is a big step. Sure, it could turn out wonderfully, but it could also go very wrong. On top of leaving your life behind, it's a difficult choice. Let's say he leaves his property, vehicle, stable job, and entire support system behind. She has a job to go to, but he doesn't, which means he'd be dependent on her until he finds employment. She's 44, and he's likely around the same age. At that age, starting over and finding a job isn't easy. This man isn't in his 20s, ready to take risks and go on adventures. He's close to retirement. These sacrifices are significant, and many people share the same opinion. Take a look here. Maybe he thought he could move away, and then after thinking about it realized he couldn't. Also, grown or not, I'm not moving away. Personally, I'd never leave my grown kids for anyone. I hope you find your person in Texas. Good luck. I wouldn't leave my kids either. I'm sorry that happened to you. I would tell someone up front that I'm staying where my kids are. They are young adults and still need my guidance. Kids, grown or not, it's not easy to leave them. I'm sorry you're dealing with this.
But honestly, I think that he just didn't have the same feelings for me that I did for him, and he was trying to spare me the heartache of telling me the truth. I'm just exhausted, and I'm tired of getting my heart broken and then having to pick up the pieces. I just feel stupid for putting myself out there. And, like, I just need to have a good cry today. And then tomorrow I will pick myself up and start over.
Oh, hell no!
I don't think this man isn't interested. In my opinion, he was. But you're not asking for a small thing. You're asking him to sacrifice his entire life for you. And this isn't a Disney movie where you'll live happily ever after. With a 50% failure rate in marriages, asking someone over 40 to move to another state with you, leaving behind their children, family, friends, a stable job or business, their home, and the comforts of a life where they're not doing badly, just to embark on an adventure with you as if you were teenagers. Well, forgive me, but any sensible man would refuse. It's easy to say he doesn't love you when you're essentially asking him to jump out of a plane without a parachute. If you decide to end things, get bored, or change your mind for any reason you consider valid, are you going to give him his life back where he left it? No, you'll just tell him to pack his bags and wish him good luck. It's situations like this that make it so difficult for women hitting the wall to find a partner. At that age, one bad move could leave you out on the street. Men aren't out here sacrificing everything for a woman.
I don't like to talk about controversial topics because I don't have time to keep going back and forth with y'all, but there's just some things I need to say. So, men, if your baby mother is giving you drama while you're in a relationship, that is 100% your fault. Yep, all of it. Your fault. Yes, we know there's some crazy baby mothers out there. They still love you. They still want their family. They get jealous when you move on. I get it. I get it. But here's the thing. A woman can only do what you allow. She's acting this way because you're allowing it. And you lack boundaries. That is the main issue. When you're in a relationship, your baby mother should not be calling your phone 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If there's something wrong with the child or the children, understandable. If not, there's no reason for her to be. If it has nothing to do with the children, then she should not be calling you that late at night. And she called you that late at night because you pick up that late at night. So therefore, you need to set a boundary. Listen, I'm in a relationship. I'll be in the bed with my partner, 8, 9 o'clock at night. There's no reason for you to be calling me. Okay? Okay, now on to the kind guys. We get it. You love people. You want to be there for people. We get it. But you have to understand that when your baby mother calls and she wants you to come running, you run if it's for the children. But if it's not, you walk or you sit. But for you to be in a relationship and every time she calls and you go running, it has nothing to do with the kids, that's a problem.
She's absolutely right. Many men, especially those who act like beta providers, make the mistake of victimizing themselves in front of the mothers of their children. This happens because they don't know how to set boundaries. If she has kids with you, the only reason to engage with her should be about the children. Beyond that, there's no reason to respond. The real problem arises when a man continues giving wife privileges to a woman who is no longer his wife. That's like putting gas in a car that no longer belongs to you. It's ridiculous. Women can smell weakness, and if you let yourself be a doormat, she'll use you as a rug until she ruins your next relationship. A man who respects his time and sets boundaries not only avoids drama, but also earns respect.
So here's the thing. The children are your responsibility. She is not. And she may have been when you guys were in a relationship, but you guys aren't in a relationship anymore. And you need to set clear and healthy boundaries or it's going to ruin every partner you attempt to be with. Oh, and women, I'm not letting us off the line. No. Oh, and I know. Let me address this. Oh, you're just bitter and insecure. Whatever. So I have children. I have an ex. Can I call him for anything? Absolutely. I can call him for my children. I can call him for myself. Do I? No. I don't because I don't need to. And I would never call him for me because I am not his responsibility. You see what we're doing there? I'm not calling my ex at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., telling him I need him. I need you to come get your kids. But when it comes to me, no. I'm secure. He's moved on. I respect his relationship. Yeah, that's what healthy baby mothers do. So, ladies, let's not make the next woman's life hell because we're still in love with our exes. Like, first and foremost, if he fumbled you, sis, you ain't taking no L. You dodged a bullet, right? Let the next chick deal with that. Or if you fumbled him, then you just take that L. It is what it is. There's more people out there, but to sit around all day and stalk the new chick, that's weird, dirty, funky, coochie energy, sis. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's funny because it's true.
Brothers, understand this clearly. There's no one more selfish than a woman whose pride has been wounded. She leaves you but can't stand to see you doing better without her. That's why so many single mothers try to keep a man orbiting around the kids while they do their own thing. Why? They want to make sure you stay available as a backup plan in case their freedom doesn't work out. And of course, if they see you happy, especially if you're the man they got tired of criticizing and badmouthing, they're filled with hatred. Since they can't control you anymore, they'll try to manipulate you through the kids. Here's where I tell you, don't be their doormat. Don't run every time she has a problem, because, let me remind you, she's not your wife. She made her choices, including leaving you. Let her deal with the consequences.
I'd rather be called a bitter baby mama than to allow my child to go around any woman the father of my child is talking to that does not like me. I'm not giving you the chance to mistreat my child or hurt my child because you're trying to hurt me because you don't like who I am. I'm not giving chances. It's one too many times you turn on the news and see a woman doing something to a man's child because she's mad at that man, or because she's mad at the mother of that man's child, or because she's in competition and jealous of that child's spot in that man's life. And before I allow that woman to get on the news because she was mistreating my child, you'll see me on the news, okay? When it comes to my child, you will see me smiling on ABC News. When it comes to my child, I'm not giving anybody a chance to mistreat my child because you don't like who I am. I don't care who calls me a bitter baby mama because at the end of the day, I know my child is well taken care of and safe and with me 24/7. Because like I said, if you don't like who I am, you're not going to have access to my child. I'm not giving you the chance to mistreat my child or hurt my child trying to hurt me. You're not doing that. Sorry. This is not a Cinderella story. It's not a movie. I'm not allowing anybody to be a wicked stepmother to my child, okay?
Stop it. Get some help.
You see what I mean? When a woman can't control you, she'll try to manipulate you through the kids. Nothing bothers her more than seeing the man she left, the one she called an abuser, happy with another woman, and worse yet, that her own kids prefer being with him and that new woman over a resentful and bitter mother. What do then? They try to create conflicts with the new partner to justify their actions and block the relationship between the father and his children. All of this is to regain the control they no longer have. Never underestimate how far female selfishness can go. Some women are capable of telling their own children that their father doesn't love them just because he won't bow to their desires. That's why I always insist. Set firm boundaries and protect yourself. If they can't control you, they'll try to manipulate you. And if they can't manipulate you, they'll attempt to sabotage what you've built. Don't fall into their game.
Guys, listen, there is a difference between a bitter baby mama and a high conflict baby mama. And I think a lot of people get them mixed up. Bitter baby mama is exactly how it sounds. She's bitter. She's not over her baby daddy. She has nothing but hate towards her baby daddy. She wants nothing more than to destroy everything and anything that baby daddy has. A relationship? Forget about that, because here comes baby mama. She's going to cause a lot of drama. And she's probably going to cause a lot of drama with the new girlfriend or with the wife at all times because she's bitter. She refuses to let go or heal her own hurt. Like, she is holding strong, okay? She is bitter. Some cases, she will involve her child and use the child as a pawn against the baby daddy because she's bitter. Then you got the high conflict baby mama, which again is exactly how it sounds. She's high conflict. She's not emotionally attached to baby daddy. No. But this woman more so has control issues. She will make it as if like the baby daddy doesn't exist. Things have to be done her way. If not, sorry about your luck, dude. You ain't a father. One day he's a father, next day he's not. One day the father jumps, or she says jump, and he says how high, and he gets the kid, and great communication. Then next day something pisses her off, and all of a sudden, back out the door he goes. This high conflict mother is usually the one to really pull her child into the mix. This woman will literally be destructive to her child over the baby daddy. This is where the alienation of the child comes in. This is where the manipulation of the child comes in, the mental abuse for the children, because she is high conflict. She believes she's better than anybody else. She believes that baby daddy ain't shit. If it's not ran her way, she will cause drama. She will create hell. And she will create havoc in any scenario. So let's not try to get the two confused. Even though they might be similar, they are definitely not the same.
There's not much to add here. Both women are bad in their own ways, and the system backs them up. Even when the father has court-assigned visitation days, she does whatever she wants. If you didn't know, there's a special place in hell for women who stop a father from seeing his kids. Those who send the kids to their grandmas, their aunts, or on a trip right when it's his time to see them. And what do they do afterward? They tell the kids their father is too busy with his new family. Karma doesn't forget, believe me. But the saddest part is the damage done to the children. They grow up without a father figure, stumbling through life, falling into vices, or ending up in prison, and hating a father who never even had the chance to be there.
And here's another thing, ladies. The men that have baby mothers that are still in love with them, don't let them tell you, oh, we have a good co-parenting relationship. We get along great. No, you don't. No, you don't. And let me tell you why you don't. Because the moment you take something from her, you take that attention from her, you take the fact that you care about her, you take it from her, that whole co-parenting relationship thing y'all had going on, baby, is gone. It's gone. You cannot have a healthy relationship with a person that is still in love with you. You can't do it. And let me prove it to you. So you know how there's some women, when their baby dads get in a new relationship, they run right down to child support. Yeah. Well, I thought y'all was co-parenting. I thought y'all had a good relationship. Nah. She likes you. She loves you. She wants to be with you. And if you don't give that to her, that little fake relationship y'all had doesn't exist. It's not healthy. It's dysfunctional.
Do you know what I like most about this message? That it's a woman saying it, because firefighters don't step on each other's hoses. She's exposing something many women know but won't admit, the tricks to manipulate men. As she points out, you can have the best co-parenting relationship until you find a new partner. Many women, after leaving the father of their children, initially enjoy their freedom, but they always keep him on standby. If their adventure doesn't work out, they try to come back quickly. And here's the problem. Many men, especially beta providers, don't move on. They keep helping her, orbiting around the kids, hoping to get back with her. As long as you stay her backup plan, she'll never return. You're wasting your time and your dignity.
No, I'm upset because you asked me on a date and you're asking me to split the bill with you. It's a respect thing.
I just don't know you that well.
Okay, I don't know you that well, so that's completely fair, but I still agreed to go on a date with you to IHOP, and you're asking me to split the bill, and I don't think that's, like, respectful.
I would pay for you at a nice restaurant as well. Just, it's principle.
Okay, well, it's a respect thing for me, and on top of being disrespectful, I feel like you just sat here and played a slots game app literally the entire time after asking me to go on a date for the last 3 weeks.
It's called Jackpot World, and I'm practicing for a tournament coming up. I told you that.
Okay, how does the slots game app on your phone help you practice for a tournament in Vegas?
It has every type of slot you would not understand.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't understand because I'm not doing that during a date. I don't want to go back and forth about this game thing, like, this whole time. I'm just saying that I would really appreciate it if you took care of the bill because you asked me out, but if you can't, that's fine.
It is 2024, and I don't know you that well. If I knew you were the type of girl to let me hit on the first date, like, maybe.
Why would you say something to me like that? Seriously. I took time out of my day to come see you. This is beyond disrespectful. Honestly, I'm getting so angry right now. I would like if you just left. I will take care of it. I really don't want to hear from you.
You'll take care of it.
Yes.
I mean, I might actually let you do that.
Okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
To me, this is a parody. Honestly, I doubt a man with self-respect would do this. What happened to being strong and independent? So why does it bother her so much to pay for a first date? And is her time more valuable than the man's? Please. I've always believed that whoever invites pays, especially on a first date. However, if the date was a disaster, she showed no interest, was disrespectful, or you're clearly not interested in seeing her again, splitting the bill is a valid move. There's no point in paying for someone who didn't value your time or company. That's why I always recommend coffee dates. They're quick, inexpensive, and no strings attached. If the date goes badly, you can leave without losing much time or money. A simple, efficient, and classy move.
Man, for Pete's sake, scratch that sweepstakes. Fuck, I look like ho. I look like yes, and you look like no.
I bring up stuff in the kitchen. Let's go. Brand new Lamborghini.
Man, for Pete's sake, scratch that sweepstakes. Fuck, I look like ho. I look like yes, and you look like no.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I pay my bills every month and is a lot more than $3,000. I would love to go out and have coffee to get to know somebody if they asked and I was attracted to them. I hope a nice man does ask you out. Happily married to a female, just trying to give some good advice. Our first date was a greasy diner, and it worked out for us. Maybe I have low standards, according to this, but is he supposed to buy you a yacht on the first meeting? Like we both gotta figure out if we even like each other. First things first. No? My first date was at a coffee shop, and now we are in a relationship. He covers all my bills, spoils me with gifts and vacations. He had originally set up a dinner, but I was rushed on time, so we... Guys, it all depends on the girl and her education. My girl and I got ice cream together the first time we met. She was a surgeon who drove her dad's Porsche. It's always about the small things in life. She's doing you a favor, fellas. The ones that react this way filter themselves out. My now wife was excited for our coffee date. I retired her at 41, and she now volunteers at a community center.
So I came across this. It says, how I look when I just finished paying $3,000 in bills and they ask, let's go for a coffee date. First of all, ma'am, $3,000 in bills is not a lot. You're a lightweight. Second of all, ma'am, the reason why you're looking like that is because you're hungry. You're starving because that's all you made was $3,000 and your bills cost $3,000. Now you want to trick a man into taking you on an expensive dinner date that you can't even afford yourself. You're broke. Broken bread, poured out wine. You're broke. And this is a part of the game that's ran in modern dating society in the world, in which women that have very little money now wants to shame you into making a bad financial decision. Well, ma'am, I'm going to tell you something. Many men are currently on their financial celibacy journey, okay? They are financially celibate, and they're not even spending money on coffee. It's either a free date or you can pay. You want to see me? You want to hang out with me? Let's see how much you really like me. Or let's just see if you're hungry. You're starving. You're starving. You're hungry.
How many stories do we know? Married women who started with a date even simpler than coffee and are now with men who value and respect them. A first date isn't about showing off. It's about getting to know each other and seeing if there's chemistry. If you're not comfortable, you leave. Simple as that. In fact, these quick dates give women more power to filter out men they're not interested in. But of course, the modern woman isn't looking for emotional connection. She's looking for a sponsor. She expects you to start spending money from the very first date, even though she spends $3,000 on her personal expenses. Why should that matter to the man? He covers his own bills, because that's how being a functional adult works. Meanwhile, she expects you to take her to a restaurant she couldn't afford even with her own money, just to snap a photo for Instagram. And guess who's conveniently missing from that photo? The sponsor. All of this, just to project a lifestyle on social media that she can't actually pay for herself.
And you have the audacity to even ask for a man that's going to pay all of your bills for what? You obviously won't even bring that man peace. let alone some value.
I mean,
You sound like a walking problem.
they got coochie, Sarah.
And you look at this point, if he's paying all her bills, he could get that from a prostitute that looks better, sounds better, and treats him better. What does he need her for? And this is the problem. This is my problem with modern day women. You're so entitled with nothing to offer.
If the man is paying all the bills and everything in the relationship, he's hiring a 24/7 romantic partner. Paying to have the privilege to experience problems seems to be the wrong way around. You pay money to get around problems. Wow, I can't believe a woman would dare say this truth. Thank you. This woman is absolutely right. What do you bring to a man's life beyond being a constant expense? How is he supposed to move forward with you if all you bring are problems and empty expectations? If you want to be treated like a princess, first qualify yourself as a queen. It's simple. You can't demand if you don't offer. Men are looking for peace, support, and value, not a walking problem with sponsorship demands. Let me say it again. If you, as a woman, want to be treated like a princess, first learn to qualify yourself with the king. Drizzle, drizzle. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Has a woman ever rejected a coffee date with you? What was your cheapest date, and how did it turn out? We've reached the end of the video, but we've left you with 2 stories of modern women to check out. Don't forget to turn on notifications as we post videos daily. See you in the next video of The Wall.